Hello viewers, I'm Censor and Stumina. We'll shortly begin the fourth update of the India-Pakistan match. The Pakistani military attacked India from the west early in the morning, seemingly engaging in a major battle. The Indian military retaliated against Pakistan's attack, leading to renewed intense fighting between India and Pakistan. Tensions remain high. Today I will go over the entire situation from May 9th to May 10th in detail. From May 9th to May 10th, there were a lot of fierce battles. Wusion Indo witnessed the Soviet Fifth Army having left Srinagar, attacking the Pakistanis. Here, the Islamabad, Lahore, Rawalpindi, and 3 air bases including Noor Khan Air Base, Rafiki Air Base, and Mirid Air Base were bombed. However, these 5 missiles were all intercepted by Pakistan, so there were no casualties, but it seems that India wanted to show its strength. The drone succeeded in its mission, causing several secondary explosions. However, there were no significant results. But this provocation has shaken the world. On day 4, Pakistan's military counterattacked Mary-U-Su, a heavily fortified building in the Azov industrial complex and a key strategic point. The response to the enemy's threat was disappointing. Despite their determination, they ultimately failed. The Amatun Pakistan Army used more than 400 self-propelled guns and aircraft to attack, launching an offensive toward 36 cities in India. Even New Delhi was included here. First, the Pakistan Army began a cyber attack before the main offensive, starting to paralyze India's major websites. The Indian government then started attacking websites of organizations and institutions tied to the military, police, and other critical sectors. The Pakistan Army then used various drones, missiles, and fighter jets to launch attacks. It has been confirmed that there were attacks by the Pakistan Army in 36 cities, and in 26 places actual damage occurred. It is said that India's air defense network was virtually neutralized, but the Pakistan Army also attacked India's Udampur Air Base and Pathankot Airfield. In Srinagar, Kashmir's largest city, civilians started evacuating as soon as the shelling began. Moreover, due to the air raids by the Pakistani Army, high-ranking Indian Air Force officer Rajkumar Thapa was at home and was killed in the attack. But it wasn't just the air raids. After conducting air raids, the Pakistani Army attacked India with artillery bombardments from Kashmir and launched various missiles. India had no choice but to endure the attacks from the Pakistani Army. Especially this time, the reason India continued to be attacked is that it was unable to properly respond to Pakistan's provocations. When Pakistan launched a surprise attack, the Indian military failed to respond appropriately, and this is considered the main reason. This gives us a very important lesson as well. If we also fail to properly respond to North Korea's drone attacks, we might face a similar situation to India. India's failure to stop the drones with their air defense network reveals limitations in their defense system. But India took action in response. India retaliated against Pakistan's air attacks by conducting joint air exercises with the air forces of Rafiki, Murid, Chakrala, and Rahim Yar Khan. Each side targeted and attacked the other's airfields and air bases with their air forces. Pakistan also suffered significant damage during this process. Reportedly, modified transport aircraft used for reconnaissance were also attacked and destroyed. In that situation, the attack appeared to strike the entire front of the aircraft directly. But at that time, there was a country that stood out in the international community, and that was the United States. The United States took steps to ensure the safety of citizens from 36 countries including India and Pakistan who were stranded in Sudan. Diplomatic negotiations continued to directly evacuate and rescue Indian and Pakistani nationals. Then, at about 5 p.m. local time in Mackinac, a complete ceasefire was established. Although Pakistan wanted to break the ceasefire with an attack 3 to 4 hours later, fortunately it seems that the situation has now stabilized. This war teaches us many things. It shows us how to defend ourselves and how to use drones effectively. Although Pakistan won the battle, some argue that India actually won the war. The main strategic goal of Pakistan in this war was to cut off India's supply lines in Kashmir. Even after the ceasefire, India's control over the Indus River continues to strain Pakistan's agriculture and economy, dealing a severe blow to the nation. The Indus River is crucial to Pakistan's economy, with 80% of it directly dependent on the river and 93% of the country's irrigation facilities relying on it. Over 150 million people rely on the Indus River for water out of Pakistan's population of 250 million. More than 60% of Pakistan's population relies on the Indus River for water, and its drying up poses a severe problem for the country. Karachi, Lahore, and Multan, major cities in Pakistan, draw their water from the Indus River. Experts estimate that if India cuts off the Indus River, Pakistan could lose up to 25% of its gross domestic product. Pakistan is a globally recognized agricultural nation. If the Indus River's water supply is significantly reduced, it would greatly impact Pakistan's economy and people's livelihoods. In Pakistan, issues like food production, power supply, and drinking water are interconnected, and division can be a matter of life and death. but it's hard to believe that they would give up control of the Indus River and just let it go. I think it was probably to make sure they secured water resources during the ceasefire. Also, water is extremely important in the region. Public opinion warfare was another front in this conflict. Pakistan and India showed different attitudes, but Pakistan actively used its connections with the Muslim world. They even made active use of YouTube. Pakistan uploaded videos criticizing India while minimizing self-critical content, revealing a public relations strategy. They continued to play the victim on social media, claiming that their actions were justified. And then, on the other hand, India minimized its media coverage and did not reveal much about the situation. However, civilian videos on social media revealed that only India continued to be attacked. If you watch the videos, you'll notice that Pakistan's attacks continued and were clearly visible, but India's attacks were not shown as much. If you only watch the videos, that's the impression you'll get. This is the result of Pakistan's persistent counterattacks, and thanks to this, Pakistan was able to gain the upper hand in the first half. Pakistan's information warfare achieved a strategic victory and boosted national morale. Information warfare is crucial, and there are many aspects we can learn from, so what's the future direction of this war? For now, both sides will likely maintain a lull. That's because a ceasefire agreement has been reached. However, it seems that the ongoing conflict in Kashmir will continue. The problem is that India is holding on to its claims over the Indus River, and it doesn't seem like they're going to give that up. Additional pressure from Pakistan is expected in the future, but the outcome remains to be seen. Pakistan's military success raised morale, but the war's outcome was mostly unfavorable. This increased the likelihood of growing unrest within Pakistan's military, potentially leading to heightened tensions between the military and government in the future. How do you think the future of the Indo-Pakistan front will unfold? Please share your thoughts in the comments. We'll try to reflect your opinions as much as possible in future videos. Thank you.